Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of The Perception Diet, and today we have Real Talk for Lightworkers, episode 17, where we're going to talk about why failure is the key to everything, and you have to get good at it. So if you didn't watch the last Real Talk for Lightworkers video, episode 16, where I talked about why you're not really afraid of failure, please go do that first. I put the link down below, and if I didn't put the link down below, please tell me that I didn't, and I will do that. So go watch that first, and then come back to this one, because this one will make a lot more sense to you after you watch that one. So now that you understand that you're not really afraid of failure, okay, you're really just afraid of love going away, right? You're afraid that if for some reason your path doesn't look exactly how you think it's supposed to look, or it doesn't look exactly how society thinks it's supposed to look, that people are going to reject you, and that if you are rejected, love goes away, as though you cannot be the own source of your love, right? This is truly what you fear when you say you fear failure, right? And so now that you're starting to see that, okay, the practice here is, how do I love the one that has the expectation of how things are supposed to go, and then doesn't have those expectations met, right? How do I love the one who goes on a journey that other people don't understand? How do I love myself inside of this life experience that's always going to throw me a curveball, right? That is really truly the work here when we say that we are afraid of failure. So now, with regards to actual failure, right? So again, I'm defining failure as being you going on a journey, you having a goal, you having an idea, you having a mindset of something that you want to have happen, and either the path not living up to your expectation, right? So you deciding, I'm going to be a marathon runner, and this is how it's going to look, and then, you twist your ankle, and then you get a foot injury, and then like all these obstacles come in your way, and it just doesn't go the way that you think that it should, right? So this is the first thing that we generally deem as failure, is like the journey from where I am to where I want to go didn't go the way that I thought it should, and therefore I failed. Or I didn't end up where I thought I was going to end up, right? It didn't go in, I took the path, I did what I thought I was supposed to do, and I didn't end up running the marathon, or whatever it was, right? And these two ideas are generally what society deems as failure, right? Like we say, like, as society, we have these general ideas of how things are supposed to go, how life is supposed to go in general. And I mean, if you really kind of look at your culture and look at the way that you were raised and look at your family structure and look at your friends, you can probably see that there is, an overarching theme of this is what a successful life looks like, and this is what an unsuccessful life looks like, right? And okay, so like the first thing to realize is that these definitions of success and failure are not universal, right? These definitions of success and failure, and this is the first key that I want you to start to kind of like get in your mind, is that the idea of failure and the idea of success are actually opinions. They're not fact, all right? And so many of us walk around believing in failure, the way that we see it, as being a fact. Like, we all must agree that if it doesn't go this way, or if it doesn't end up like this, it was a failure, and there's no other way of seeing it, right? And that is the first thing that I want you to really start to grapple with in your mind, okay? That failure is an opinion, first and foremost, right? That it is not a fact of reality, that something means failure and something else means success. That generally speaking, or I would just say probably pretty much all the time, failure and success are opinions based on cultural ideas, okay? So that is an important thing to start to understand, right? That we are not talking, the sun is up, the earth is round. And I know there are a lot of people that disagree with that nowadays, but okay, whatever, right? These are facts that we cannot dispute, right? Failure is always an opinion. Failure is always a mindset that we have. And that tells you, okay, that it's up for debate. And that's a good thing, okay? The second thing is that when you walk through your life believing that failure is a possibility, okay, so I'm going to even go as far as to say, I really want you to consider moving yourself in a direction where you stop believing that failure is even a thing, okay? Where you literally stop having the concept of failure being something that lives in your reality, okay? Because when we look at a true life, right? A real life, anybody's life story. If we look at any of these great people that we think are so awesome, like Nelson Mandela or Oprah or whoever it is that you fantasize about being or think is amazing or put on some sort of pedestal. If you look at their life story, okay, it was not, this is how I thought it was going to go. It went exactly that way, and I ended up exactly where I thought I was going to end up in the time frame that I thought that I was going to end up there. Okay? No one has that story. Literally nobody has the story of, here's what I thought I was going to do, here's how I thought it was going to go, here's where I thought I was going to end up, and all of that happened. Okay? Everyone has their failure stories, right? Everyone on their journey had these times and had these moments, had these setbacks, had these challenges, had these obstacles, had these detours, had these reroutes, had all these things happen, right, on their journey that was not how they thought it was supposed to go. And in the middle of it, right, they couldn't see that they were going to become Oprah. They couldn't see that they were going to become whoever it is that you're idolizing, right? They didn't have the foresight that it was all going to work out, right? So they also, just like you, right? The person that you idolize, anyone that you think is like a super major success, put them in your mind and realize that that person on their journey at some point felt exactly how you feel right now, in the middle of everything not going the way you think that it should go, right? In the middle of everyone thinking they're stupid, in the middle of everyone thinking they can't do it, in the middle of all the rejection and all their self-esteem stuff coming up and everything that they are facing, and not knowing that it was all going to work out because they hadn't been there yet. That has happened to everybody. Everyone who has ever become anything that we deem as a society successful has had that moment, has had many of those moments, okay? And again, this is where you need to start to understand that failing in and of itself, right? Having things not go the way you want them to go, having obstacles, having roadblocks, having setbacks, having detours, having all of these things. If you can start to reframe how you see these things, your entire life will change, okay? Because this is the bottom line. When you set an intention for who you want to become or what you want to become or the journey you want to take or whatever it is, right? The goal, the thing that's to you success, right? When you set that intention, the universe always hears you. So you need to get that, okay? You are never ignored. You are a creator. You are the creator of your life. When you set an intention that I'm going to go on this journey, the universe says, yes, okay. Okay? And then the universe says, here are all the things that you're going to need to build and compile and do within yourself in order to live at that new place. Okay? Because every single time we have a goal, every single time we have a vision for ourselves in the future, every single time we have this fantasy of this success that we want to have, we are envisioning ourselves literally living in a new vibration, right? We need to understand that. We are envisioning ourselves having deeper connection to who we truly are, our biggest gifts, our biggest potentials, and our capacity to have a vessel that can hold that energy and live in that place, right? You can really think of it like, again, like a weightlifter, right? The person who's never worked out before, who has a goal of becoming an Olympic level weightlifter, right, is not going to go and start lifting 220 pounds, right? They're going to start with 20. They're going to start with 40. They're going to start with a much lower weight, and they're going to have to take a journey all the way through a whole bunch of failure in order to gain the strength to be someone who can lift 220 pounds. So I want to help you take this metaphor of the gym person gaining strength and apply it to everything in your life, okay? So we know that in order to build muscular strength, you need to lift heavy enough weights that you fail on your last rep, right? That you literally cannot muscle up any more weight, right? You put forth all of your effort and you cannot lift it. You fail. Your muscles max out. They are like, no, we can't do this anymore, okay? And then you go away and you rest and you allow your muscles to repair. And then you go back to the gym and you do it again. And you do it again and again and again and again and again. And this is how you build strength, right? The only way to build strength is to go and do things you can't do. And then to rest and then to try again, right? And give yourself that ability, that capacity, that journey and that space, right? To fail at things, technically, right? If we look at it that way, and come back and do it again. This is how we learn, literally, okay? So I want you to understand that in order to succeed, you have to fail. Like, really, you have to go, and especially if your dreams are really, truly in alignment with who you are, right? You need to understand that you're not living as that person right now. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a goal. It would just be a part of your reality, right? And again, deeper than this, I want you to really, really start to wrap your mind around this idea that these goals that you have, okay, this journey that you have in mind, this thing that you want is not really the thing you want, okay? It's you giving yourself permission to glimpse the person that you know yourself to be. And this is just the image that you have that allows you to connect with the feeling of being that person, okay? So this idea, all right, that really what you're going for here is when we have a vision of where we want to go, okay, we first need to understand that it's not really the actual goal that we want, all right? It's the vision of the person we know we would have to be in order to be that person who has that thing, okay, that we really want. So if we start to understand this idea, what I'm going to say next is going to make a lot more sense, right? If you start to allow yourself to know that whatever it is that your goal is, have that as your goal. I'm not saying don't have goals. I'm not saying don't have things that you want. I'm saying absolutely have those things. But know that underneath it, the reason you want what you want is because of the person you believe yourself that you know that you will be when you were there, okay? It's, and sometimes we definitely have goals that are like, you know, if I have this thing, I'll be lovable. If I have this thing, I'll be worthy. If I have this thing, everyone will love me. If I am this, like, right? If I have this success, people will give me the love and attention and fanfare that I feel that I deserve. And again, right? That's still you saying that person will be loved, right? And so a lot of the time our goals and the things that we want and the things, it's reminding us of a feeling state that we need to start allowing ourselves to have right now, okay? Because it's really, truly the person you think that you're going to be who can do that, right? Or it's the love that you think you don't deserve until you are that person, right? That is the reason you have the goal. So start to kind of dissect that. Look at your goals and say, okay, do I really want this thing because this is causing me to go on a growth journey, right? That moving towards this goal is really me saying, I'm going to use this as the carrot on the stick that drags me through my personal development and all the things that I need to do to become this person, right? To lift the 20 pounds, then the 40 pounds, then the 60 pounds, and the 80 pounds, and be really discouraged sometimes and get super tired and whatever, but this goal is the thing that's going to keep me going, right? Or is it that I really believe that I'm not worthy of love until I am this person? And start to really think about that, okay? Because that's going to totally determine your journey. And then the second thing is to understand that the obstacles, the roadblocks, the failures, the detours, all of that stuff on the way to where you're going is the point, okay? It's the lifting the 20 pounds, lifting the 40 pounds, the learning the discipline to go to the gym all the time, the learning the discipline to eat the way that you need to eat to build muscle. It's that whole journey that's actually the point, right? The hero's journey is always, I'm going to do this, like I'm going to become this person. I go out on this whole big obstacle course. I face all these obstacles. I fail. I succeed. I do all these things. I get to the end and I realize this wasn't about conquering whatever at all. This was about me discovering myself. This was about me realizing I was already this person all along. And it was this whole journey that I took from where I thought I was to where I thought I was supposed to be, and all the shit that happened in between was really just me revealing to myself who I really am. Okay? So now if you can start to achieve this state of mind, okay, that first and foremost, success and failure don't exist. They are simply opinions, okay, of people who want to feel shitty. Really, that's what it is, right? Because when we are looking at life and saying, this is how it should be, we set ourselves up for suffering, right? Because if it doesn't go that way, or if it goes some way that we don't think it should go, or if it doesn't go the way we think that it should, right, then we feel bad. And there's really actually no real reason that we have to feel that way, right? If we say, I'm going to go on this journey, and then you let go of how it's supposed to happen, and even kind of sort of let go of being at the end, and I'm going to make another video on this whole let go principle. Don't worry, this is coming up, but just to kind of get you dabbling in it now, right? You let go of all that, and you say, I'm willing to suck at everything, right? Just kind of take that mindset, right? I'm literally willing to suck at everything along my path to where I think I'm going. And I'm willing to allow it to go totally not how I think it should go. I'm willing to say that, okay, I thought I was going to have this happen, and then this happened. And, okay, right? This is really the key. Because here's the biggest takeaway from this video. Your life is happening now. Your life is not going to start when you get to your goal. Your life is not going to start at the end of this journey. And even if you get to where you want to go, there's going to be another goal. There's going to be another thing you want. It's never going to end, okay? So if you are placing your happiness on the future of when I am where I need to be, right? Even if you get there, you're still not going to be happy because there's going to be another goal, because that's how life works. So what you really want, okay, the real key here is that you allow yourself to be someone who can go through all of the obstacles, who can have the goals, go through all the obstacles, go through all the stuff, and realize that everything that is happening on your path is not a failure. It's not even a roadblock. It's not even a detour. It's not any of these things. It's exactly what you need to reveal to yourself the person that you've always been. That's the goal. That's the journey. That's what this is. So, like, for instance, I just want to tell you, like, when I first started Perception Trainers 4 years ago, it was technically a failure, right? Like, in every way. No one read my blogs. No one watched my videos. No one bought my book. Like, it wasn't a success by any stretch of the imagination. And I absolutely, at so many points along the way, could have quit and been like, I just can't do it. I just suck. No one wants this, right? But I didn't. And I allowed myself to go through these things of sucking at stuff, right? Like at sucking at writing, at sucking at getting myself out there, at sucking at making videos. Like, there are definitely videos on this channel that I would prefer to delete, but I won't, because it's like, right, it was a journey. And it was doing all of that got me to where I am today, and I have no idea where this is going, and at this point, it doesn't matter. Because I'm willing to just suck at whatever the next thing is that's going to come, right? And I don't look at this anymore like a goal, because it isn't. It's just a journey, and I'm willing to be happy at every step, okay? So that's why you need to get good at failure. Like, literally get good at sucking at stuff and not making it mean that you suck. Get good at trying things and saying, okay, I wasn't good at it the first time. That's awesome. I'm going to go away and then come back and do it again, just like the weightlifters. Because that is true success. That's the journey, is being able to enjoy the journey and let go of how you think it's supposed to go and where you think it's supposed to end up, right? Have your goals and go for them. And then when it doesn't go how you want it to go, don't make it mean you suck. Make it mean you're on your journey and everything is there to teach you something. So you start to say, okay, what am I to learn here? All right? Questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. and I'll see you in the next video.